You know, it's so easy to assume that cold feet, numb toes, or those awful night cramps just mean you need the right bedtime snack. Honestly, that might be the easiest explanation out there, but unfortunately, it's often a really dangerous one. Welcome to today's explainer. Today, we're going to look way past those internet quick fixes and act like medical detectives to uncover the real, underlying biological signals at play inside your body. We're going to separate actual, helpful dietary support from the myths that could be putting your long-term mobility at risk. Have you ever stopped and wondered if you're just treating a surface-level symptom, but completely ignoring a critical biological signal? Things like cold feet, numbness, or night cramps, they aren't just random annoyances, they're actually a warning. When we rely solely on stories that promise some magical quick fix with a bedtime drink, we risk masking a much, much more severe vascular issue. And this perfectly illustrates why one single symptom should literally never be treated like one single diagnosis. Think about it. 3 different people could all experience cold feet, yet face 3 entirely different realities. Person A might just be dealing with physical inactivity. They just need their muscle pump moving. Person B might have diabetes, where that tingling feeling is actually nerve damage. And person C, they could be dealing with peripheral artery disease, meaning actual physical blockages in their arteries.
So, to really understand what's going on under the hood, we've got to look at a molecule called nitric oxide, or NO. Nitric oxide is essentially a chemical messenger. It literally tells your blood vessels to relax and open up, allowing your blood to flow with much less resistance. It's an absolutely crucial cornerstone of your vascular health. But remember, it's just one message within a massive, complex communication system that dictates your blood pressure and your nerve function.
I love this analogy. Think of your body like a bustling train station. Choosing the right food is kind of like choosing the right train. But that's just not enough on its own, is it? You still need the correct platform, the correct departure time, and the correct passenger. When you lie down at night, your entire rhythm changes. Your blood pressure, digestion, your hormones, they all shift. So giving the exact same food to the wrong body or just at the wrong time of day can actually trigger massive nighttime reflux or severely destabilize your blood sugar. Now, before we even touch dietary solutions, we absolutely have to address the red flags that food literally cannot fix. Things like sudden temperature drops in just 1 foot, pain that flares up while you're just resting in bed, sores that absolutely refuse to heal, or any noticeable changes in your skin color. These are medical emergencies. Please do not attempt to treat these with a bedtime snack. If you have any of these, you need to seek a medical evaluation immediately. Okay, Section 1, 3 bedtime food realities. Let's dive in and separate the hype from your actual biology. Let's start with cayenne pepper. Now, cayenne is incredibly sneaky. When you consume it, a compound called capsaicin triggers heat-sensitive receptors in your nerves, and it creates this really powerful illusion of warmth. But here's the catch. Feeling warm does not automatically mean you've increased functional blood flow down to the microscopic vessels in your feet. It's just a sensory trick, folks, not a structural change in your circulation. Now you might be thinking, well, I'll just mix cayenne with honey to cool down the heat. But we have to be super careful here because this combination carries real risks. That intense spice, it'll significantly aggravate nighttime reflux the second you lie down. High amounts of cayenne can actually affect bleeding if you take blood-thinning medications. And if you're managing diabetes, adding a bunch of honey right before bed is basically injecting a direct spike of sugar into a highly vulnerable system. So what about a totally different approach? Consider this surprising option, the white part of a watermelon rind. Yeah, the exact part almost everyone throws right in the trash. It acts a lot like a 3-step biological assembly line. You see, the white rind provides citrulline, which your body then converts into arginine, which finally helps make nitric oxide available. It's this hidden pathway that may actually gently support vascular relaxation. And the best part, it's a highly practical, zero-waste option. Just wash the melon carefully, remove that tough outer green skin entirely, and toss the clean white layer into a small evening smoothie. But a quick reality check here. This biological assembly line definitely slows down as we get older. And most importantly, watermelon rind will absolutely never clear a physically blocked artery. It's dietary support for sure, but it is not a medical cure. All right, let's bring out the heavy hitters, beetroot and garlic. Beetroot provides a highly concentrated source of dietary nitrate, which has a very clear connection to that nitric oxide pathway. But there's a hidden catch that most people completely miss. You absolutely need the living bacteria on your tongue to make this work. They're the ones that convert the nitrate into nitrite. If you use a harsh antibacterial mouthwash right before bed, you basically eradicate those helpful bacteria and ruin the entire biological process. Mind-blowing, right? And this right here is exactly why playing guessing games with your health is so dangerous. While evidence absolutely shows beetroot may lower blood pressure for some, and garlic definitely adds sulfur compounds that support cardiovascular health, consuming highly concentrated amounts of garlic can be really perilous if you take blood-thinning medications like warfarin. You literally must consult your doctor before turning any of these interventions into a nightly habit.
Moving on to Section 2, the 3 questions to protect yourself. Let's talk about how to guard against online medical myths.
Whenever you hear a convincing story about some miracle food curing circulation, you've got to ask yourself these 3 things before believing it. Number 1, were the people in the study actually similar to you in age and overall health? Number 2, did researchers just measure some minor lab number, or did people truly walk further with less pain? And number 3, is the benefit actually large enough and safe enough for your daily life? Because listen, a neat biological mechanism makes an idea worth studying, but it absolutely does not prove that a specific food can treat your unique condition safely. Let me share a quick story with you about one of our viewers. She's 81 years old, and she was facing an invasive surgery to improve blood flow in her leg. And she was terrified, not just of the operation itself, but of a long recovery stuck in a care facility away from her home. She kept asking us, did I make the right decision? Her fear really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? It proves that our real goal here isn't just finding a trendy bedtime drink. It's about protecting your mobility and holding on to your long-term independence. Which brings us to Section 3, build your 7-day baseline. It is time to completely stop guessing and start observing. Here's how we're going to do this. It's called the 7-day rule. You need to spend 7 full days strictly recording your baseline symptoms. Jot down how many night cramps you get, your walking distance, and any numbness you feel. Then on day 8, introduce exactly 1 dietary change. Just 1. If you try 5 things at once, you're never going to figure out what actually worked. From there, you want to watch for functional improvements in your everyday life, not just some temporary warm feeling. Because at the end of the day, food is just one single piece of a very complex puzzle, sitting right alongside safe daily movement, taking your prescribed medications, and protecting your sleep. True success isn't finding a magical kitchen cure. Success is your physical independence. It's simply the ability to rise from a chair on your own, walk across your own living room, and avoid a care facility for as long as humanly possible. So let's stop settling for quick fixes and start having better conversations with our doctors, right? I want to leave you with this to think about, and I'd love for you to drop a comment below. Which symptom is truly driving your concern right now? Is it the cold feet, the deep numbness, those awful night cramps, or the sharp pain when you walk? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious, stay vigilant with your health, and I'll see you next time.